My apologies. Okay, so we're talking about topic clusters at the moment. So the topic clusters are based on one subject, one topic, and then creating multiple subtopics around it. So as I said, big topic, digital marketing, subtopics, email blast, Google Ads, social media marketing, crowdfunding marketing, anything that has to do with digital marketing, search engine optimization, web development. These are all subtopics that we create. And what we want to do is we want to create these topics and then link them back to each other so the person or the crawler stays in your website as much as possible. That's part of optimization, okay? Let's go to the next one. Having a little bit of an issue today with my computer. Here we go. Okay. We're talking about the anatomy of a winning cluster. So we talked about it earlier in the previous page. We're going to pick one keyword. My keyword, for example, is digital marketing. So how do you pick? So let's say I picked digital marketing because it's a very broad word. And I can broad keyword, and I can put a lot of other topics under it. So a really good pillar page or a landing page that we can recommend. So if I'm writing a landing page about digital marketing, it should have about 1,500 to 3,000 words, and it should cover this particular broad topic. So in addition to that pillar, so a pillar page is a page that it's a main page and it has multiple pages that link back to it. Correct. So my main page is about digital marketing, and I have 5 to 10 pages that link back into it. Okay, each one of those pages should have between 700 to 1,000 words, targeting a little bit more narrower, long tail terms. So my topic is digital marketing, but my long tail terms could be one of my digital marketing solutions would be email marketing and how to use that email marketing to impact my digital marketing that I'm offering. Okay, so that would be my the long tail terms would be related to the email marketing and how it impacts my digital marketing. If you guys have any questions, put it in chat or just unmute yourself and ask, and it's perfectly fine if you guys want to do that. Contextual internal link, basically it connects all of these cluster pages into your one page. So now that one page could be the home page of your website as well. So having that home page and creating multiple service pages or multiple blog pages to link back to your homepage is a really good idea as well. And it kind of makes life easier. So every one of these pages that you create, there is a rule of thumb to it for it to be optimized perfectly. One is to have really rich media, which is really good videos that are relevant to you. Even if you just want to get in front of your phone, turn the video on and talk about the service that is on this page, it will suffice. It's good enough. You can do photos or images, or you can create infographics. And this helps with your user interaction with your website. Now, when you create infographic, like a lot of people are like, well, I don't have a graphic designer to create infographic. The easiest platform you can use is Canva. You can put Canva has this amazing AI feature into it that you can tell it what you want your infographic to be about and give it your branding and your color set and your logo, and it will create a beautiful infographic for you. You can also use tools to create these content, basically breakdowns like surface SEO or phrase or market news. They kind of help you structure your content semantically and be able to plug it into these pages. Now, before you do that, I highly recommend creating a plan for yourself and saying, I want to talk about my business. Let's say it's about mortgages. I want to create, or real estate. I want to create cluster pages. And they work really well, by the way. They help your SEO tremendously. They will increase your SEO ranking by like 5, 10, 20%. So I would highly recommend doing this. And it's a really good practice for your business. So what you could do is put a plan together and say, my main topic is going to be real estate. So if my main topic is real estate, what are my subtopics? So my subtopic could be about real estate near me, right? Or real estate in the countryside, or metropolitan real estate. So you can have multiple content created for that. And then once you decided that this is the plan you want to go with, then you can use Surfer SEO or Phrase or Market Muse to create this structure for you. Do you have a question, Jasmine? Okay, let's move on to the next one. We're going to talk about AI-powered content creation. So, sorry, I missed that. What do we need to create? A plan. So, Tanya, you can create a plan. So what happens when you create a plan, you're basically creating what is the information I'm going to be putting into my sub-content. So that could be, I want to put in information about real estate. Okay, so what are my sub-contents going to be? So that plan would now allow you to come up with images that you need, videos that you need, and you can take it to different SEO tools to create that big structure for you. And it also helps you when you want to, actually start writing that content. Then you can figure out which tool you want to use. Okay, so what SEO tools? So in the previous slide, I'm going to go back to it. I talked about Surfer SEO. So you can use tools like Surfer SEO's Phrase or Market Muse to kind of structure your content and then to be able to plug them into your website if you want to. Okay, let's talk about ChatGPT or Jasper or WriteSonic, sorry. Every single one of these tools are fine tools. There's nothing wrong with them. You're welcome, Tanya. They're great tools, and a lot of people do use them to write for their search engine optimization content. Now, I 100% think you should use these tools, but we're going to talk about how to train these tools to understand your business and understand your content before you post the information. Okay, so there are a few terms I want to explain to you. Okay, so these AI tools are no longer just about drafting about drafts or analyzing your search engine ranking place or generating outlines. It helps you insert latent semantic indexing terms. Okay, that means that it would help you create content that you can put in to have your business indexed in the right space that it needs to be. There is an optimization for tone, how you write, and you need to explain that tone when you create this content for your website. Okay, so you have to be able to use the AI as a strategic assistant. Okay, so you want to be able to tell this AI tool, whether it's Jasper, whether it's ChatGPT, what is my brand's tone? Okay, do I want it to be have a human touch to it, or do I want it to be just a professional writing? Okay, you want it to tell it, are you trying to tell a story, or are you trying to just specifically inform this particular person that comes in on the facts? And then once it generates that content for you, you have to actually read it to make sure that it matches your brand, your and that it has 100% factual information in there, and that it's personalized for your target audience. Okay. I'm going to answer that Asma in a second, okay? When you use ChatGPT is looking at information outside of the box of where you're in based on how people search for you or what information is out there about your business or about your brand or about your services. Okay. So it doesn't have that human touch to it. So you need to tell it that if it's creating this content for you, to put in that human touch into it. Because if you're targeting me as your customer, I'm a human. And I will recognize when it's written by ChatGPT or if it's from your mouth. Okay. So you want to be able to break down what it is that I want ChatGPT to say to represent me for my website. The other thing that ChatGPT or even Jasper does is that it goes and looks at who your competitors are. So why would you not want to tell it who your competitors are in the first place? So it would pick the right competitor to look at the information so it can mirror the services that you're offering versus theirs, and how to not make it sound identical to your competitor. Okay, so you have to train your ChatGPT. You have to tell it, this is the plan. We're going to be talking about make it a human-based touch content. I want to tell a story. This is my brand tone. And here are some personal examples. This is exactly what I wanted to say, and make sure that it creates this information for someone who's 25 to 45, female, lives in X area, makes X amount of money. Okay, so I'm going to answer a couple of questions and I'll move on to the next page. So Asma asked, how can we apply sustainability in SEO when doing optimization on a planning, and can AI tools help doing that? Sustainability comes from a plan that you have, and that plan, as I said earlier, when you have a plan, you know exactly, and you have a marketing plan, then you know exactly the type of content you want to create, and you have to continuously create the content and the language to match your existing customer, which means you should have a research done on your existing customer to see what is it that they're looking for to hear about you and what you want. And yes, you can train AI tools to create plans, but it needs a bit of training from your end. Once you have a plan, you can just feed that plan into whichever AI tools you want to use. And there are a few that I can recommend later on. And then based on that plan, then it can create a sustainable plan for you. And then you execute that. How do we build an AI quality control process? Oh, that is such a good question. Prompt validation, etc. During the content creation, given the opportunity, the reputation risk and brand, that occurs when these tools produce content that is incorrect. Yes, 100. This is the best question, Erin. Okay. It is the hardest thing to create this quality control. And my issue with this is exactly what my issue with AIs are. The reputation of your brand, the fact that it could provide information that is absolutely incorrect, and actually being consistent with your brand tone is very important. One of the things that I have been doing with ChatGPT, and again, I've been doing it for a while for one client because they're just very particular with the content that wants to be created, and they were perfectly fine with using ChatGPT. So we have spent the past 5 months training our ChatGPT with the content that we're creating about this brand. So let's call the brand AI. So AI is one of our clients, and we have been feeding ChatGPT about AI. We are posting everything that we keep asking it to rewrite about AI, which is our client. I'm going to call it our client AI, based on content that was created for them in the past. And every time we post something about our client AI, we then take that link and push it back into ChatGPT and say, learn this brand. And then we have certain commands that we go through with them just so that it would learn this brand. Now, the reason we're doing this is so that we just took Grok offline 5,000 users this weekend across our company. Okay. I'll look at this. Yeah, this is one of the issues that comes across. Yeah, the content that's created, it has to be double checked and quadruple checked. And on top of that, you need to train the system so that it knows who you are and what you're about. And we can talk about this a little bit more after I'm done this presentation. But yeah, you gotta train that tool as much as you can and tell it to understand what it is. And there's other tools to look at as well. And they're continuously fixing and in improving the existing tools as well. Okay, let's talk about predictive search. So this is predictive search kind of uses machine learning and user behavior patterns to basically anticipate inquiries before they're typed. Now, Google Discover and Bing AI feed, they've been at it for a while, and then they've already surfaced content based on interest, trends, and past behavior. This is very important. I would actually make sure that understanding your existing target audience and who your actual clients are and who's shopping from you, and then figuring out their purchase patterns and their past behavior is absolutely crucial. And there's a lot of tools that we can talk about that does provide this service. And this will change the game moving forward. Whatever service we're all selling, we have to know who it is we're selling it to and how are they searching. Are they using, somebody just told me a few weeks ago when I was doing another presentation that the entire company uses ChatGPT to research information over Google right now. The entire company. So I don't know if it's a bad idea or a good idea, but if that is a change into the behavior of the people, maybe we need to look into how is this going to change our audience's journey with our products and our services. Okay, so you have to understand what their journey is. You have to understand when they come to your website, what are they coming to buy? And if you can gather as much data as you can, that will help you with your search engine optimization. So predictive SEO is about understanding search path, not keywords. Keywords change because if my search path changes, my keyword selection will change. Let's go over some of the tools that are I've been using most of these tools, except like a few, most of the, let's say the past 15 years. I work with SEMrush, SEMrush, and Google Search Console every day. Every day I log in because I want to see what's happening because I own an optimization firm, an agency. So I go in and I see what's happening for each one of my clients. So I'm very comfortable with it. Herf is another one. Is a really good one. So we're going to go over a couple of them and figure out what they do. So Surfer SEO, it optimizes for topical authority. So it helps optimize your content. And ChatGPT Plus or API generates content. You can do FAQs, you can do regular, schemas, you can do summaries, you can do outlines, you can generate anything you want with ChatGPT. Again, read it through, make sure it has your content language, make sure it's exactly what matches your business. Herf and SEMrush, they track keyword trends, competitor cluster strategy. They look at how your optimization strategy is. They look at the backlink strategy, and they have suggestions. And their suggestions are often very, very beneficial. You can start the free version if you want. It works for one site. And I would highly recommend looking at some of their videos that they have on YouTube or on their site. They're very helpful. Phrase and ClearScope, they analyze the content gap and kind of outline how to optimize your content. So But none of these understand your tones. None of these understand your target audience. So before you use phrase or clear scope, you got to tell it who you're writing it for. You got to tell it, okay, I'm writing in real estate blog or a real estate landing page for people that live in Connecticut. They're between the ages of 25 to 55. This is their income level. Look at my content and see if it's written well, or what are the gaps that I have to fix. So you have to tell it who you're targeting, because then it looks at a content and it's like, in a generic term, this is perfection. But then if you're targeting a certain group of people, the language changes, and that's what you want. And then you got to tell it what your tone is. You got to tell it what your requirements are as well. You got to tell it that I want to make sure this content that I've created is going to generate leads for me. Okay, because the language, the call to actions changes as well. So Spark Toro discovers audience insight for you and search intent. It is an amazing tool. I've used it. It's really good in US. And for a lot of states, it works really well. It works really well in UK as well. Not so much in Canada, but it's fine. It's usable. And you kind of want to refine based on performance, impressions, and click-through rates, and look at how each one of these tools work for you. You don't have to use all of them, but you should look into what are my options for each one of them. Okay, so how is AI changing keyword searches? So in the past, we used to manually dig for keywords. We used to use Google keyword search to look for keywords based on how what were the traffics on our website, and who our competitors were, and what worked based on our competitors and what works for us. And then one of the things we used to do is we used to look at our analytics and be like, hey, this keyword did really well for us based on the number of people that we ran an ad, and this keyword brought the most amount of traffic. So now AI tools now reverse engineer competitors' clusters and extract user questions from forums and social platforms, and then map semantic relationships between each entity. Okay, so think about it. This is how your competitors are looking for their keywords. So tools like Ask the Public, and people also ask scrapers, combined with ChatGPT, kind of prompt and generate dozens of long tail variation and user concerned keywords. So AI-driven keyword search priority topics, and they're priority topics and intent for purchase over volume. So in the past, if I had 5,000 people that clicked on that keyword, that's the volume that's clicked on it. It's not it. It's what it matters is priority. It prioritized the topic that it's about, and then what was the intent of that user when they clicked on it. So your content should always answer why, how, what's next. Okay, so when you write your content, why, how, what's next should be covered at all times. Do you guys have any questions? Or we're good? We're moving on to the next one. So let's talk about the power of semantic SEO. So Google understands better than anybody out there. And we have BERT, MOM, and all the other AI models that will help us create semantics. So what's semantic SEO? So it means that you're optimizing your content around concepts, not just keywords. Okay, so you want to use related terms, synonyms, and natural language to show topical depth. Okay, so you want to make sure that all the pages are connected to each other based on how relevant the content is. So you want train your ChatGPT with your brand's voice and your topics to maintain consistency. It's so important to train your ChatGPT. Okay, you have to train it. To feel like you're training your cat and dog, but that's what it is. You have to train your ChatGPT. The deeper your semantic footprint is, it's more likely that Google is to kind of bring your pages and make you as relevant as possible to the top pages. The other thing is you got to understand that there's this power of voice search, and the power of voice search also is based on relevance to the content that you're creating. Okay, so more relevant content you create for your business and what people are searching, there's a higher probability for voice searches to find you next as well. We're going to talk about entity-based optimization. So entities are things, places, people, topics, and these are usually what Google connects to form knowledge graph, right? So instead of chasing keywords like best CRM tools, you want to look at customer relationship management. Okay, so by covering features and case studies and integration and comparison, what you're doing is you're creating different you're creating an entity around customer relationship management, because you have now case studies, you have features, you have integrations. And you want to use structural data, we call them schema markups, to kind of signal entities clearly. So what's a structured data? Structured data is anything that's relevant to that particular. So if, let's say, for example, if I'm writing about customer relationship management, right? My structured data would be around features that are available for that customer relationship management. The ability to connect that customer relationship management to a form fill, for whatever reason I needed to. The ability to connect different platforms into my customer relationship management, whether it's my booking system, whether it's my invoicing system, that's my structured data. And then you want to optimize for your brand as an entity as well. So what does that mean? It means that you want to look at your about us, you want to look at your social profiles, your Facebook, your Instagram, and then your press mentions. You want to use each one of these pages and optimize them. Put more time and effort into your about us, because you want to be able to come up as relevant as possible. So under our about us page, we made sure every single person that works for our company has a whole section, and it has that we make them sound as human as possible, because when you write about how professional this person is, but you want to give them that human piece. So if someone's looking for, I want to work with a company. Oh, you're welcome. Sorry, I was just reading a message on chat. You're welcome, Aaron. If you're writing a message, sorry, if someone wants to work with a company that has individuals, let's say, that are into gaming, your information that you've provided is there. So you want to be able to connect with content that is more trustworthy, and it gives you visibility. Okay, that's why we're talking about creating something that's relevant. Okay, let's talk about some case studies. I have one case study. We'll talk about this one. So there's a wellness brand that built a cluster around gut health. Their pillar was Ultimate Guide to Gut Health in 2025. Okay, so the cluster content included best probiotics, leaky gut diet, gut-brain connections, and internally linked every single one using Surfer SEO into each other. So what happened? So they ranked #1 for the pillar term, which was the Ultimate Guide to Gut Health in 2025. They ranked on the page 1 for 70+ long tail variation, which included leaky gut health, best probiotic, gut-brain connection. And then they saw a 3 times more increase in their organic session within the 6 months. And that worked well. So what happens when you got more people? You sell more, and more volume you get to your website, more people will find out about it, and more people will tell others about it because you continuously come up. So if you noticed, I just want to confirm one more time, the cluster content, it included things, topic points that were related to gut health. Okay, where do we start? We start here. We choose a core topic relevant to my business. Remote work tools, that's my relevant business. Real estate in Connecticut, that's my relevant business. Or digital marketing experts. And then what we want to do is we want to identify 5 to 10 related questions or subtopic and use the AI to keyword tools. Okay, so create your 5 related questions. Why would one want to move to Connecticut? What are the benefits of living in Connecticut? What are the benefits of investing in real estate in Connecticut? Okay, you get my drift. That's the direction I want to go. And then we want to create my big pillar page because I want all of these subtopics to come to it. That page has to be at least 2,000 words. And then I want to plan, remember I said at the beginning, I want to plan supporting blogs or supporting content. So the supporting blogs would be based on that 5 to 10 related questions or subtopics. And then I want to use internal links and consistent formatting to connect everything together. And then I want to refresh and optimize quarterly, add more, content to it. If someone gave me a comment and the comment was a really good question, I can add that into the 10th relevant keyword tools that I, the relevant question tools that I have. And then you can use project management tools like Notion, Trello, and then Airtable to manage the content flow. You want to review updates and collaborate with your writers. And again, if you're using your chat GPT, if you have someone in your life or in your business that is a good writer, get them to read it and rewrite it for you. And then you want to use that individual and your SEO team a little bit more efficiently because you've already created that content, to get them to read it and see if this works for you. What are the things we want to avoid? Well, let's talk about them. You want to avoid publishing content with no interlinking strategies. This is when it makes sense when I say to you, make a plan. What do I want to link to what? If I wrote about real estate in Connecticut, do I want to link that to another topic that is real estate investment in Connecticut? So think it through and plan it. Avoid using AI tools without human oversight. Okay, so stop pumping information and then don't even look at it and just post. Look at things, make sure that it matches your business tone and your brand. Writing for algorithms instead of users. Everybody's like, well, I think this keyword looks like it's doing so much better, so I'm going to write for the algorithms to pick this keywords. No, you want to look for me as your customer. I am your best bet to grow your business. So you want to always look at me. Okay. You want to ignore schema markups or page experience factors. Don't look at how well I wrote this particular page experience, and this is what I wanted the schema to look like. You want to write for people. You want to focus too narrow. You don't want to focus too narrowly on keywords instead of solving users' problems. Make sure all of your sub questions are solving a problem, or subtopics are solving a problem. You want to avoid using the best SEO content in 2025 and technically sound. So what you don't want to do is you want to make sure that you sound and you're emotionally resonating with your end users. AIs are robots. They write as a robot. you want to talk to people. So you can take advantage of that AI and use it to help you, but you also don't want it to, overwhelm and make it sound as robotic as possible. Okay, I'm all about reports. If you don't have reports, you don't know what's happening. And that report is going to save your life, your business life. Okay, so what do you want to do? You want to have, and again, your analytics should be able to give you this information. Your Google Analytics or your Looker Studio or even your Search Console should give you all of this information, okay? So you want to look at your topic performance instead of individual keywords. You want to see which page topic did much better for you. You want to look at your search visibility growth. You want to look at the number of impressions you got and then your click-through rates. And that's CTR, okay? So how much traffic did I get, impressions did this topic get, and how many people clicked and what was the ratio of that? You want to look at your engagement metrics, things like how long did they stay on the page? Did they scroll up and down? Did they go to different pages? So if I'm on a website and I'm on one page and I liked it so much that there was a link to another page and I clicked on it and I went to another page and then I liked that page and I went to another page, I'm staying on your site longer and longer and longer. And my engagement rate is higher and higher and higher. And my bounce rate is lower and lower and lower. Because if I don't like it, I'm out, I'm bouncing. That bounce rate is at 100%. You want the ratio to be 50-50, 60-40. Don't want it to go further than that. That means that your content is useful and people are reading it. You want to look at your conversion pathways. You want to see from the cluster, how much business did you generate? Because the whole reason we're doing all of this is to generate business. So if I've created this amazing content about, real estate in Connecticut, how many people called me that wanted to buy or sell their real estate in Connecticut? And then you can put everything in a Looker Studio. I love a Looker Studio. It's the most beautiful, full of graphs, full of pie charts. I can see what's happening. Or you can look at your Google Analytics or even your Search Console. Sign up for your Search Console. Add it to your website. Make that a priority today, because that Search Console tells you so much more information about your SEO than anything else. All right. Let's wrap this up. Topical clusters are improving. This is the way things are. So AI is here to stay. It's growing really fast. It will help you create speed, consistency, and optimization. Take advantage of it. If you're going to take advantage of it, think for a second and say to yourself, what am I going to get out of this? And how am I going to plan my next moves? And how am I going to make sure that I'm going to win at this game? And I'm not putting so much time and effort that I don't have. Because you want to make sure that you can do this along with everything else. So plan your next move, write it down, piece of paper, pen, write it down, or make yourself type it up, whatever works for you. But make sure that you have a plan for this. And now I'm going to open it up to anybody who has any questions. Really? Any questions? Okay, I'm going to send this presentation out to everybody, and it's going to be on our website, digitalmarketingexperts.ca. And if you go under resources, this presentation will be there as well. And we'll send out the next webinar that we have. And if you like, join it. Okay, Tanya, question for you. I am a small business. Any suggestions to do all this work? Yes, make a plan. Once you make your plan, then look at the top 2 services that you're offering. Don't go further than that, just top 2. And then create content for one, for now, in one setting, And then I'm going to create a content for the next one in an effort setting. Create content for this one service. Can you type in what type of business it is? Or you can unmute yourself, whatever works for you. Education. Okay. Education is a very broad topic. So look at, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi. I'm in professional education, so postgraduate learning, and I'm in healthcare. So my students are nurses and other healthcare professionals.
Fantastic. Okay. So create 5 blogs. Give yourself a plan for 5 blogs. And start with just the 5 blogs. And make sure that these blogs are relevant to the questions nurses ask to look for your services to improve what it is that they're trying to do. Okay, so if you look at Reddit or look at forums, they should have these questions out there.
Okay.
And then when they have a question, you answer that question in a blog format and post it on your website. And just continue doing that. Just continue posting those blog format, those long questions in a blog format. And that becomes your long tail as well. Because they're looking for that, right? And look at the date when they ask that question. The most recent date is the one that you want to answer the most. And then look at why people are calling you. If someone's calling, there's a reason why they're calling you. What are those reasons? If they're asking for a particular service, make that into your long term. Make sure you're talking about that long term, that one problem they have, because you're about to solve that problem.
Okay.
And then write about that. Then put a form on that page or your phone number on that page. Every blog that you write, put your phone number and your form in there, because that's how you're going to capture them, right? Because if they love it, they're going to have a form or a telephone number or an email to reach out to you.
Yes, right.
And continue this. Look at results that you get as well. Don't just do this for the next 6 months. That's not a good idea. You have 2 services. Dedicate 1 week to one, dedicate another week to the next one. Okay, I'm just picking 2 services out of all the other services you provide. And then step back and look at results. What did they come from? Did they call you? How much results did you get from each one of these topics? And if you didn't, this is where you have to step back and look at your plan and see if, what am I doing right or wrong?
Okay.
And report back. I want to see how you did.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. Thank you for attending. This was amazing. As I said, I'll put this on our website, digitalmarketingexperts.ca, and it will be under resource section with the video. And if you guys need anything else, feel free to reach out to me. You're more than welcome as well. Good luck, everyone. I will speak to you once I see you in the next webinar. Take care. Bye.